The following is an excerpt from the Monday, May 24, 2021, regular virtual meeting of the Kalamazoo Public Library Board of Trustees.
All righty. Ryan, we're down to the director's report.
I thought you almost said you're dying to hear my report. Is that true?
Sure. Yeah, of course we are.
Right. Well, I'm dying to give it. So I guess we're going to get to reopening. That's the big news. But we have even bigger news right now. And you already have a heads up, and so does staff, but the rest of the community doesn't. We want to make sure that we announce this publicly at the board meeting first. But that is the announcement of Theo Gill, KPL's Theo Gill, who is a library assistant in our youth services department, has been selected as the first recipient of the Kalamazoo Public Library Amanda Green Scholarship. So this is another one of those big moments in our history here at KPL where something important has happened, and I'm getting chills right now, matter of fact. Theo was one of 4 well-qualified applicants, and he impressed the committee and came out on top. And matter of fact, he is already enrolled, and I believe he's taking classes at Wayne State. So this will certainly, without a doubt, help his educational process and becoming a professional librarian at some point and serving his community, whether that's here in Kalamazoo or somewhere else. So we're awful proud of Theo and his good work, and we're thankful for this library board and staff members who helped put together the committee over the last several years. We're thankful for Kevin King and his leading the way with this. And I specifically want to call out the committee members, the selection committee members who were part of this decision process. And there are about 7 of them. Ronnie Bryant, Jackie Eatman, Nakinga Bergen, Laura Warren Gross, Karen Trout, Vic Jaglin, and Janie Williams, and then that process of interviews and discussions were facilitated by Kevin. So again, what we're going to do is we want to coordinate the media release of this alongside a potential gift from a local book discussion group. And both of these things will happen as close as we can together. And but we expect that to be very, very soon. So the rest of the world will know. And anyways, just a great thing. And here it's finally happened. So thank you for your role in that.
Ryan, before you move to your next point, would you share who all was on that committee with Kevin? Because there was one time I said something and he said, well, it wasn't just me. I believe there were others that was a part of actually putting this all together. Judy Rambo was one.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Yep, sure. I can share that right now. And if I make a mistake here, I think Kevin's in the meeting, so he could speak up. But Kevin, Judy Rambo, Jill Lansky, Chafe Hensley, and Namdi DK. I think I hit it all. Oh, Kevin's typing it in there. Oh, I did it. I did it. Okay, we got them all. So, and of course, there were other people who gave input and feedback throughout the last couple of years. So. Yeah, I thought it was important to announce it because Kevin corrected me. He said it wasn't just me. It was others who were involved in this. So Definitely.
We want to give credit where credit is due. Yes. Yeah. Okay, great.
Okay, and then the big news, again, is our reopening. And you all know it's June 1st. And we have, of course, let staff know and we let the public know. We are so excited to be reopening again. And it seems like old hat where we keep doing this, but we hope this time it's for good. Certainly, as we reopen this time, conditions are different. Daily improving with our COVID positive case rate, but also we're in an environment where over 55% of our county is now vaccinated, or at least our state is vaccinated. So that's a good thing. You can get dizzy if you try to pay attention to all of the MDHHS updates and MIOSHA updates and the governor's back to work plan, which seems to have kind of fallen off the table a little bit. But we're trying to keep up with that. And we're trying to plan a safe reopening that takes into account all of the things that we can do measured against ways that we can continue to keep staff and the public safe. So just as a reminder, when we reopen next Tuesday, June 1st, we will reopen still with building capacities. The max allowed is 50%, 50%, so we'll be at that. We will still have measures in place to social distance patrons. We'll have very few furnishings, limited seating still, and we'll still be encouraging 1 hour in the building. When it's applicable, we may have to talk to people who are maybe in a smaller space or a limited size branch in order to allow other patrons into the building. But we didn't have many issues with that last time, and we don't expect many issues this time. Yeah, as Mr. Messer also indicated, we are bringing back our newspapers and magazines, and that will make a lot of people happy. And as a reminder, we stopped quarantining our materials about 3 or 4 weeks ago. That will continue to be in place. We still have gathering restrictions. I think right now, as of the time that we speak here, that there's still a gathering limit of 25 people in a space. So for that reason, we're still going to not allow the public to have a program. We're not going to have any public programs or any public use of our meeting spaces. And at this point, I still recommend that the library board continue to meet virtually, but it's something that we certainly can do. We can consider down the road if we want to move to a hybrid model where the board is present and then a limited number of, up to 25 people, but we also make that available virtually as well. But right now, for as much as we know, I still recommend that we keep it safe and keep it virtual. So other plans, we will continue curbside at every place. We will reopen at the onset with hours of 10 to 6 here at Central and at Ashtamo, and then 1 to 6 at the branches, and then every branch will be 10 to 2 on Saturdays. Masks, that's the biggie. That's the big thing. We will uphold the mandate. We will require patrons to wear masks, and we will post signage though that will indicate if, of course, with the new order, there is the ability for people, if they are fully vaccinated, that's considered an exception, and they would be allowed to not wear a mask in the library. But we are going to promote and encourage mask wearing, and our signage outside at each entry point will clearly indicate that that masks are required unless you have an exception, such as being fully vaccinated. Now, MIOSHA came out today with their updates, which kind of relax what they have been upholding for the last year or so. And at this point today, we are still going to mandate that staff wear masks and adhere to social distancing. But of course, what came down today is that if you are fully vaccinated, then that actually goes away. But that is our immediate plans right now is to still require at this point staff to wear masks. Officially, the newest information or the newest order from MIOSHA goes until October 14th. We will begin to plan safely outdoor activities as they come up, or where some of our staff have ideas or plans for summertime. Right now, there is nothing that will, you'll see when the PRISM comes out, there's nothing planned, but I understand that some works are in the way, are underway. And we are also planning some events or safe activities where our mobile library can go out and be introduced to the community at parks and so forth. Feel like I'm forgetting something big, but I'd be glad to answer any questions on that topic if you have anything right now. Okay, well, if something comes up, I'm going to have a couple more things here, and then feel free to ask. Okay. I do want to also mention, I mentioned this, I wrote it in my director's report, but I want to call it out here. We're thankful for the Kalamazoo Community Foundation for their continued support of ONEplace. They, again, gave us an annual grant in the amount of $75,000. That is a great thing. I also want to mention that there's a lot of money coming out right now from the federal government, as you're all aware, and one more beyond the Library of Michigan distributed money that will happen later this summer, early fall, is something called the Emergency Connectivity Fund, the ECF. And that is FCC originated, and there's a company that administers that. It's called the Universal Service Accountability Company, otherwise known as E-rate. And this is something that we apply for every year. And there is $7 billion worth of money that will be available to libraries and schools across the country for ways to improve connectivity for home learning, which again means money for hotspots and laptops and tablets, Wi-Fi hubs, extending Wi-Fi, ways to extend Wi-Fi outside our buildings. And the thing that's different about this process with E-rate, normally E-rate is a cumbersome extended process application-wise and documentation-wise. They're moving quickly on this. And any day now, a 45-day application window will open up, and we'll work with our consultant to identify ways where we could utilize some of this money. One of the easiest ways would be for us to find a way to continue to pay for the subscription or maintenance costs for our 1,200 hotspots that we have right now in partnership with the DAFA group. So we're looking to utilize some of that money for that, but then also to find ways where we can purchase technology that would benefit all home learners in our library district, home learners of all ages. So that's another cool thing. We'll be moving quickly on that. I do want to mention also finally that our Reading Together Selection Committee started last week. Just last Wednesday, they had their first meeting, and Karen Trout is helping to lead the way in planning next year's author and events. So, and it's exciting. We've got 5 community members who are taking part in that process this year, which is the most ever. Okay, I'd be glad to answer any questions on anything I spoke of or anything in my director's report.
One quick question, Ryan. Help me remember this because it's been a little bit. The E-rate, weren't we going to form some type of a committee to do somewhat of a quality control of that process, because we kind of got ourselves? Am I talking to? Is this? Yeah, no, yep.
I can elaborate on that. Yes, we were going to have a staff with a board representative mixture committee that would, on an annual basis, take a look at instances of where somebody may have been, where they may not have been able to do a search on the internet because it was filtered out. Remember, the big thing with us accepting E-rate money is that we have to comply with SIPA, the Child Protection Act, which calls for us to filter our computers. And we did that for the first time a couple of years ago. And we have not met yet. And we haven't, of course, for the last year, we've mostly been, or halfway been closed down. But we can certainly make that a priority and get that group together to look at any instances of where we have seen problems. And just anecdotally, I haven't heard any big issues or any issues at all, but I'm certain that they're out there.
Okay. So you haven't, if I heard you correctly, you have the committee in mind. It's already been formed. You just haven't met.
We have not formed, but we could quickly pull something together.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Are there any other questions or comments?
I was just going to comment that I was impressed with the Disability Network, again, awarding KPL the Community Inclusion Award. That seems worth noting. that KPL continues to keep those kind of issues as a priority. I also was impressed and happy to see that Caitlin Hogue is on the committee with the Michigan Supreme Court for Justice for All. And then it's just exciting that we have this podcast happening through KPL. And I love the format of the 5 questions and bringing attention to diverse and local authors. So just lifting up some of the many good things that are happening. It's just nice. I look forward to reading that report every month.
Thank you. And it's just a snapshot. We do so much more here, so many more people and activities. It's impossible to capture it all.
I am sure. Well, if nobody else is ready, I'll go next. I want to join Anna in congratulating Caitlin. I read that, and that's quite impressive. So thank you, Caitlin, for standing out ahead of the pack and being recognized and being called into that arena. I also saw Sandra Farag was elected to the ALSC committee. I think it's awesome when our staff, stands out like that and they are recognized for what they bring to the table and are invited to serve. So congratulations to you, Sandra, as well. And I want to, as being a part of the selection committee for the Amanda Green Scholarship, that was the most awesome experience I have been involved in quite a while. And Ryan, you didn't mention, but I hope it's okay. I'm going to mention we had 2 KPL employees. Of course, one was the winner, was Theo, but Lauren Yule, did I get that? Lauren was also one of the applicants. Being a part of the committee, I got to hear their personal life story. And I'm telling you, all 4 of those, there were 2 KPL and 2 non-KPL, and they were outstanding. They all, we all wanted to give them all scholarships, but we couldn't get Kevin to bend on that one. So, but it was just a great experience. And I think there are some other great things that are probably going to be shared that has happened with that whole process. So I don't want to steal anybody's thunder, but it was an honor to serve. And I think we've created something I think that's going to be a model for the country, because I don't believe there's anything else like this in the library world yet. So great work for the committee. I want to thank each one of them, thanking Kevin for his lead in that, but also the work of the other committee members who were a part of that process. It's a great move, great work done. But I just, when I was reading your report, Ryan, I kept marking, I got marks on all of my, it was, I think we are on a path to be a trailblazer. KPL is a trailblazer with some things that we're doing. And I'm really excited and honored to be a part of this. So great work to everyone. Please thank all of the staff in your meetings for the work that they're doing. Even if your name doesn't get called, we see the reports and we just appreciate every one of you for the work that you're doing. Okay, anyone else?
I'd like to just say briefly, thank you. It was a great report, and I also look forward to reading through everything and catching up on things that are happening. I was interested and excited to see the community engagement staff thinking about ways they can use the mobile library to help perhaps with issuing of the county IDs. I think that's great. Getting out in the community and kind of helping with something like that is a wonderful idea. And congratulations on the Disability Network Inclusion Award. I think that's great as well. Lots of wonderful things happening, and hopefully we can get the buildings open and patrons back in and really taking advantage of all the wonderful programs and services that KPL provides. So thank you.
All righty.
Here is the written director's report that was available with the agenda packet prior to the meeting. Each page section will pause for 3 or 4 seconds. Press pause in your video window to read them.